A lion never feels underdressed. A wolf never stands paralyzed in front of a reflection, agonizing over how its fur will be perceived by the pack. Humans are the only species that experience anxiety about their natural form. For nearly 300,000 years, the human body was treated as survival machinery. Feet walked, hands carried, and skin protected. There were no mirrors to fuel obsession, no fashion hierarchies, and no concept that certain parts of the body were wrong to reveal. In ancient tribes, constant exposure meant the body was psychologically invisible. When families sleep, bathe, and eat together in the open, the brain stops noticing the human form. You rarely obsess over what is always visible. This baseline changed around 70,000 years ago. As humans migrated into harsher environments, they began wrapping themselves in animal hides, woven fibers, and leather to survive the cold. This survival tool introduced a new boundary: privacy. By covering the body, humans removed it from the natural landscape, making the skin something hidden and, by extension, something that required social management. We can trace the moment clothing became a permanent fixture of human life through the evolution of a single parasite. This cladogram shows human lice diverging. Exactly 70,000 years ago, body lice split from head lice, adapting to live in human fabric. This biological split proves when we adopted a consistent second skin. Subsequently, clothing expanded into a tool for communication. A decorated hide could signal a hunter's ability. Specific feathers, bones, or patterns could communicate tribal identity and hierarchical status. Humans were no longer just surviving, they were signaling. This shifted the body's role in social life. Instead of being a purely functional tool, the human form became a curated presentation. Clothing allowed individuals to control what others saw, creating an identity before they ever spoke. Humans began to merge with these identities, using fabric to project power, mystery, or strength. We had invented a way to intentionally construct a social persona. Hiding the body introduced a strange psychological feedback loop. By consistently covering specific parts of the form, we inadvertently increased their social weight. The human brain ignores the mundane, but notices the hidden. On this chart, constant visibility yields low engagement, while concealment creates high attention spikes. Covering up generated significance, eventually codified into moral rules. Whether hiding hair, shoulders, or legs, the concealment itself creates the psychological charge. This also changed the nature of attraction. Where the body was once a familiar, ordinary part of daily life, concealment introduced mystery. Fascination grew in proportion to how much of the body was removed from public view. Humans had accidentally amplified the psychological power of the form they were trying to hide, turning the body into a target for constant regulation and judgment. In ancient tribes, you lived around people you had known your entire life, but the rise of cities introduced a world of strangers and the need for new boundaries. Clothing became one of those boundaries. In an anonymous crowd, your outfit serves as a necessary shield, separating your private biological self from your public social persona. This created a conflict for the modern brain. We are ancient creatures designed for a world of constant visibility, now living under the pressure of constant visual evaluation. Ancient humans saw the body as a record of life. Muscles meant labor, scars meant experience. Today, the body is a project requiring constant editing to meet social standards. That pressure is quantified here. For most of history, we compared our appearance to a tribe of perhaps 50 people. Today, we compare our second skin to the curated images of millions of others. The ancient brain was never designed for this level of visual competition. To survive this environment, clothing has become psychological armor. We dress to avoid judgment, to communicate tribe membership, and to signal status, using fabric to manage how others perceive us in a hyper-evaluative world. Humans adopted a second skin for physical survival. Tens of thousands of years later, that skin has become an emotional necessity, a tool we use to navigate a world where the body is no longer just a body,